Anyone for public comment this evening? Mr. Candelar, you can come up first, please. Again, for the record, you do need to state your name and address.
Phil Candelar, 431 East 11th Avenue, Conshohocken. Two things.
Yes, sir.
I'm glad to see that the borough and the sewer authority are kind of working together, because that was for years a big kind of disconnect. So it's neat to see that happening. Number two, can you clarify the motion on the beer fest? Because it was hard to hear, and it sounded like you denied it for the next 3 years.
Yes, that would be the clarification. You are correct. We did deny it for the next 3 years.
We're not going to let them do it at the A field.
No.
All right. I think that's a loss for the borough, but my opinion.
And we appreciate your opinion and your comments.
Okay. Thank you. That's all.
Thank you. Is there anyone else for public comment? Good evening, Jacqueline. I do need you to state your name and
Jacqueline Rocco, 111 East 10th Avenue. My question is also based on the Beer Fest. I just wanted to know why it was canceled, dismissed for the next 3 years. I couldn't hear the reason why.
So it is only a public comment, but I will say it is the option of council to accept or decline, and we chose to decline.
Okay, I wasn't sure because I wanted to understand it only because as a Rotary Club, we just want to know what the reason is so that if we go and try to do it somewhere else, you know what I mean? Like what the hindrance is so we won't
I think
repeat
if the
it.
Rotary Club wants to reach out to our administration, they can do that.
Okay, all right,
Okay.
thank you.
Thank you.
Evening. Mike Makoid, 112 West 9th Avenue. First thing, Mr. Mayor, car show. Even though it's not meant for kids, my four love it. Look forward to it every year. Especially last year, my youngest pulled 2 winning tickets out of Sarah's basket. So it was great. We ate over at Southern Cross. Really loved it. But really, seriously, just to add my voice to Mr. Candelar and to Jacqueline, with regard to Beer Fest, I'd ask again, except for Councilwoman Totino, any comment as to why? I can understand right to decline. I have no relationship, don't know him, but just curious as a resident. Understand the idea of declining maybe for 1 year, but to decline through 2024 without explanation.
So the reason for the 3 years is because that was what was requested.
If that was what was requested, but I think as our elected officials, a little bit of color, some background, some insight might be warranted. Why?
I understand. Thank you.
Carol Smith, 109 Maple Street. The Art and Car Show is always good. I'm glad it was expanded from the car show, and we do need things for adults as well in Conshohocken, which brings me to the Beer Fest. I would like to know why it was canceled. I've been to the Beer Fest every time it's been opened, and it's a great event for our area. It highlights Conshohocken, and as a former Rotary member, the Rotary does terrific work in this area. So I think as a citizen, we should know why you voted against it, because we're developing Conshohocken. We're going to have 4,000 new people coming within a few years. It's a great event that highlights that area. It works great in that stadium. I've never had a problem being up there. I've never seen a problem with anybody there. So it was incredibly surprising to hear the denial. So I think we do have a right to know your reasons for that, since I've never saw a problem with the event previously. And lastly, I want to say, thank you for the sewer. We do have an agreement. The sewer has been run well for at least 10 years since I've been on the board. We got over $2 million in grants for the sewer authority. The relationship has always been appropriate between parties. So I'm glad we have that agreement. And that's it. Thank you.
Thanks. Thank you. Is there anyone else for public comment this evening? Okay. Meeting adjourned.